All right, guys, so now we're down here cleaning off the mount for the oil filter. Now bear with me because you can see how clean it is. Let me try to get you a little angle. See how it's wiped off nicer than it was before. All right. And then right here, I've got my filter. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and try to feed him on down and get that on there. Just hand tight, so give me a second. Okay, boys, so we see we got it back on there. And this is just hand tight. So about 3/4 turn hand tight. No more than that. Really, if you're not comfortable using your the oil filter rinse, don't. Just go with the hand tight and then check it later. Also, look down further, and if you see like oil dripping from when you took it off, if you can squeeze your hand down, then go ahead and wipe that off, all right? So you might not be able to see it now, but just directly under where the oil filter is, just go ahead and wipe on down there. Stick your rag down there, just to be sure. So I'm trying to keep your bike as clean as possible, and this every little bit helps, all right? So moving on to the next step. I've already put the drain plug back in the bottom and pulled out the dipstick right here. As you can tell, I'm about to put in 3 quarts initially of the Sen 3 SAE 15W50. So let's get those put in together real quick. And then we'll check for leaks on the bottom and make sure the plug is in good. And if we need to be tightened, we'll do that just a little bit. Remember, hand tight. Don't use an L tool on this. You're gonna be buying you a whole new pan. Just don't do it. All right. So that's 1. Just know we're doing 3. I won't even waste time showing you all 3. So I'll cut you back on in a second. All right. So now that we got the 3 quarts in, we go ahead and break this off real fast. Drop that down here, and let's go ahead and plug in. Perfect. Just wipe out that little bit right there. And let's go ahead and put this back in. All right. The next thing we're gonna do is get to this. All right. So let me grab an Allen bolt for that and get right back with you. All right, so on my bike, like I said, it's a 2016 Road Glide Special. This is actually a 3/8 Allen bolt, and it should be pretty easy to get to. As you can tell, it turns pretty easily, so you can almost do this by hand, which I would do because I don't take no chances of stripping these out. It's just way too much cost-wise and too time efficient, and this is what it's gonna look like. All right, that's what it's gonna look like. Nothing special. All right. So next we're gonna do is go under, and we're gonna take that bolt out and drain this out. So I'll cut you back on once that gets to flowing. Just a reminder where that bolt is. If you look at the transmission right here, just come straight down. You should see it right down the undercarriage, right here. All right, and all you're doing is backing it out, and it should be just hand tight as well. So let me get this going before I drop this phone, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, guys, so I got the transmission plugged out. Plug out is drained out, as you can see here. And what I did was went on ahead, wiped it off clean, and I changed the O-ring. Hopefully y'all can hear. Neighbors got them good flow masters on there. So yeah, so it's all cleaned off, as you can tell. Looking like a new penny on the top. So now we're just gonna stick this back. They do have a torque requirement for these. I would say just think about how tight it was when you pulled it off before you try to actually put it back. And but I would start with hand tight. And then when you get to the end, I would just go ahead and, go with your wrench or whatever, but just turn it in there. But don't crank this down. I think I want to say it's 14 to 21 for your pressure point if you're using torque. But again, it's different bikes, different stuff. So I would say look it up. Otherwise, I would say just good hand tight, nothing crazy. Don't crank it and don't crank it. All right, so let me get this on and I'll turn you back on in a second. Okay guys, we're gonna be filling up the second hole, which is the transmission, not the whole bottle. Try to keep that 4 ounces. If not, get full plastic shot glasses. If you don't have the measurement, that's too easy for you. All right, so let's get to it and I'll turn you back on in a second. I feel like I'm getting a little closer. Look at the bottom. You notice something, see what I'm down to? I got a little bit more to put in here, you see that? I'm about 10 ounces right there. So I'm gonna drop 6 more in here. And then that'll leave me around the 4 mark. All right, let's check it again. Getting close. We're gonna hit the 8. Let's go again. And that should be really close. One more splash, we should be good. All right, so that's kind of close. Probably at about 6. Bam, so let's hit that. And one little tap, boom. That should be right. That's pretty close, huh? That's pretty close. We'll run with that. Okay, so now that we got the 28 ounces in, what we're gonna do is, number one, take our transmission dipstick, which is this, and I'm gonna see if I can focus this for you guys. Might be a little crazy, but at the very end of this, even if you can't see it, there we go. My finger is where there is an F. Over here is an A. And I know it's tough focusing. All right, can you see that? This thing is steady adjusting, I don't know where, but trying to get it, really want you to see it if you've never seen it before. Okay, so here's the F and here's the A. So in between those 2 letters is where you should be, right up under the fill line for the F. All right, let me try to get it focused one more time. Okay, there it is. Y'all see it? F, A. That X marks the spot here, right in the top, right directly under there is where it should be. All right, so we're gonna start checking. So the first thing we're gonna do is take out the dipstick, trying to make a mess, drop that down on the rag. Now when you put this in, we don't wanna screw this back in. You just wanna rest it right there where the threads at. You're basically topping it out right there, all right? And then we're gonna pull it out and take a look. Now I don't know if you can see this on here. We'll try to get it in focus, but it is literally right at the F. I know it's tough to see, but I guess you don't just have to take my word for it, but it will not focus in for that. But anyway, I did try for you guys. All right, I'm still trying to get it. Okay, well, when you pull it out, like I said, you want it to be right on the F line, so it's just not gonna do it today for me. But anyway, the oil is extremely clean. You can barely even see it except for that drop right there. Right, and then I'm just gonna dry it off, and if it's right, I'm gonna put it back in there and leave it, and then tighten it up, hand tight, of course. And if it needed to add a little bit, add about 1 ounce at a time, just a little bit. Don't try to overflow it. We don't want it to go over. And all we do is take our T again. Yeah, so you'll see that again, and that's the, for me, that's a 3/8. Right, yours may be different, but that's a 3/8. Right, and we just get that in there, tighten it back up, man. That's pretty much it. Right, pretty snug. You know, my hands are a little breezy. Here's what it is. Get my big hands in there, and there you go. All right, so for the last one, we're doing the primary. You can see I've already got the bolt out, and the bolt is here. About to clean that off, check for metal foulings. So we're gonna let that boost on out a little bit. And I must admit, man, this cheap little $8 pan came in handy today. You can actually bend it to get up under the bike. So that was a help. Yeah, so we just gonna work that out, man. And as soon as that finished, I clean this up and then change the O-ring on it, you know what I'm saying? And get that right, get all this debris off. Yeah, we'll get that right. And then we'll show you the next steps. All right, guys, so we finally got all of that bolted back up. Basically just got the bolt on the bottom back in, changed out the O-ring, and now it's time to bust down this plate for the primary so we can change that gasket out. And in order to do that, is these 5 star wrenches here. This is actually a T27. As you can see here, is what's necessary. Make sure you get to see that, because I hate when people make videos and they don't really show you. So now that you know. All right, so I'm gonna get these off. Also, make sure you do this in the start pattern. So if you start up here, go down here, go over here, go over there, go down that way. All right, let me get this off because you're back on. So what's going on, guys? It's your man AP. Just a guy, man, that like to ride his motorcycle and trying to show you guys how I save money and be able to take the trips that you're gonna see me take. A lot of that comes from saving money by dodging the dealership, getting with other guys that have actually done some of the repairs and some of the things I wanted to do, like change the balls out, oil changes, Maybe you just want to do the engine and transmission, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I just want to give something back to the community. I'm an independent rider. At the end of the day, I just want to be on the highway, especially with mini-me. So that's what I like. So as far as the video goes, this is where I had to come and apologize to you guys, because when you see me getting ready to take off the primary cap, once I got all the bolts off, there's one bolt that the head is stripped on. This one. You can imagine the steam that was coming from my forehead at the time, knowing I had got that far, and a lot of stuff you've seen, I was filming and doing with one hand. I'm doing all of that one time. So if it's not the expert video that you're looking for, go click on one of those shop channels and maybe they could give it to you, and then you could try to keep stopping and starting, because they're going so fast, you don't get the mistakes. And I'm showing you all of the mistakes. When I mess it up, I'm not ashamed to say that that's what happens. But I believe your mistakes are where your growth is. So with that being said, long story short, on the primary cover, bolt was stripped up. So I had to go find a way to get it out without taking it to the dealership. In the midst, I had already recorded the oil change and everything to show you guys, but it did not, I don't know if it must not have recorded. That's all I can tell you, because out of probably 70 clips of videos you're watching, the last video was the one that you just saw, where the oil is draining out the primary. So, but long story short, I'll just give you some insight on your primary. You have to figure out how much it takes. I put a screenshot like what mine takes. This is when I Googled, it showed, and I don't even remember what else. So just read up there, you'll figure it out. Get the right specs for your bike, because it could be different. That's all I would tell you. Everything could be different. So that, like I said, that case that I was tapping on the other side for the primary, if you have an aftermarket one, that gasket may be different. But that kit from Harley comes for the factory one. So you're good to go with that. And it's all just pulling off, wiping it off, and sticking the other one back on. And then put it back on, start patterning the screws, and then go back and tighten them. Remember, I had the kit for you guys for the funnels. That one I told you that goes like a semicircle at the bottom. When you first pull off the case, you're gonna see 2 rows of circles, like an outer ring and an inner ring. That inner ring, if your bike is leaning over, you should be able to see, you probably see a little oil there, all right? You don't wanna feel over the ring inside of the primary cover, okay? Now, how you gonna get it this, you find the specs and you can measure out the exact amount of oil that you need to put in to make that happen. Also, the best way to check your oil levels is to raise your bike back up off of the kickstand. You can do a hot check on your bike, I know I can, either way, but you want that bike sitting straight up. So if you have a person that can either hold the bike or either grab the dipstick or whatever, utilize that. Like I said, I wasn't doing this with a jack. I was just doing what I had available. So you don't have to have all the tools. You don't need a big mechanic shop. I'm trying to give it that you can do it by yourself. If anytime you feel like you're stuck and you don't know where to go, man, call the dealership. Those calls are free. You can call different dealerships and get, answers to verify the ones that you got at first. And if they're tired of you calling one, just call another one. That's all I would tell you. Call somebody that, may know, right? If you see a guy riding another Harley, ask him, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, you know anything about this? And most times, yeah, my man's is this, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. I know it's long, but I'm hoping that you got something from it. And my bad on the last part of the footage, but like I said, you already seen it drain. All you had to do is put it back in, put the gasket on, wipe it inside, put it on, roll the bike up, you know what I'm saying? Once you do your oil change, you probably want to start your bike up for anywhere for like 1 to 2 minutes, just to let the oil recirculate, cut it off, and then check your oil levels, all right? So other than past that, like I said, you are solely responsible for your bike, just like I am mine. So I'm just doing the best I can, and hopefully I can help you guys out. I hope y'all appreciate it. This is AP Highway Throttle. I'll see you on the next one. Get ready. I got how to put these bars on, at least up to a certain point. Don't hold me to the whole install, but I got a video to show you guys. It saved me $1,000. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I got that coming, and then I'm gonna show you how I put the lights on the tour pack as well. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe, be easy, and stay positive. Peace.